Welcome again. So today we are going to talk about three primary service models of any cloud service provider. Okay, so whenever you do any cloud computing, it must be based on these three service model. So normally what happens in the cloud, instead of buying or maintaining the physical server, organizations rent these IT resources over the internet on some pay as you go or some subscription basis, right? So we are going to understand this, like how this, what does it mean, what this model do actually, how these are organized, how these are going to manage the services in the cloud. Okay, so let's see that. So to understand this, let me give you one very good analogy so that you can understand this. So one place on this whole earth where you want to live, so you have three options. One, you can buy a land and build everything from scratch, right? Second option is that you can rent a fully furnished apartment, right? And third option could be rent an apartment where building is managed but you bring your own furnitures. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky. So rent an apartment but with your amenities of furniture. Okay, so this you can say, especially in India, is standalone building. Okay, this is called fully furnished apartment, fully furnished flat, and this is called semi or raw flat or apartment, right? So keep this in mind, this analogy, to understand this. Okay, and very interestingly, cloud computing works exactly the same way. Okay, anyway, we are going to understand today IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. So who manage what, real world examples also. Okay, so what was the traditional way? Let me talk about some traditional way. So let's first understand what company used to do before. Suppose you are building any application, any ERP system, like school management system, hospital management system, anything. So what you need server, you need a physical server actually, some storage, some networking equipment, modem and those things, operating system you required, DB you required, okay, one application service required, okay, and of course the app code, okay, that is required. Everything must be purchased and maintained, right? Now understand the scenario. Suppose your server got crashed. It's completely your responsibility for every loss, right? If storage become full, you have to manage. This is again your responsibility. If hardware fails, your responsibility. This is called on-premise infrastructure. It's a very famous coin term. Okay, on-premise infrastructure. Okay, sometimes people used to say on-prem. So remember, both are same. Okay, here in on-prem, everything is managed by you. Okay, complete responsibility of owner. All right, now let's understand. You got the problem, like what is the problem? Every headache is yours. Now coming to one of the type, and these terms came when cloud came in a picture. Okay, so imagine you purchase an empty plot of land. Okay, you just purchase somewhere one land. So that land owner, what is going to give you? He give you a land, right? He'll give you water connection. It's a very similar example, to understand this. Okay, if you focus on this, you can understand the whole concept behind that. And it's a very real life example. In India, it happens like that only. Electricity connection, right? These things most probably he is going to give you with the land. Now what you have to do? Based on this, you are going to build house, correct? You are going to design your rooms or interior, whatever you say, paint walls, everything you have to do, right? Maintain everything, buy furniture, everything, TV, everything. So the owner only provide the basic infrastructure and cloud works similarly. So in case of IaaS, cloud provide only what any cloud what we are going to provide, it's going to provide you virtual machines, the EC2 machine you can say. Storage he is going to give you, networking he is going to give you, data center he is going to give you, and physical server. Okay, and what you are going to do, this is provided by the server, right? And what client is going to do, I mean you are going to manage operating system, DB, runtime configuration, everything. What else? Your application code, right? And of course the data, whatever generating by the application. So for example, suppose you launch your ERP system, some school management system, okay? So what you're going to create? You are going to create your server, means Ubuntu server we have taken, you're going to manage the database, kind of like Postgres, MySQL. You are going to write some code for the Java application and Nginx for the application service, right? Everything is installed manually. You are responsible for every update, maybe it's a security patch, maybe version upgrade, anything. Okay, so nowadays the popular IaaS or infra as a service provided by AWS EC2, right? In Microsoft virtual machines. In the same way, Google provide compute machine. These are the raw machine and you have to do everything, right? So remember, IaaS is nothing but is a rent infrastructure and manage everything else yourself. So IaaS is going to rent the infrastructure, rent infrastructure. Okay, now coming to second type, PaaS. It's called platform as a service, right? Correct. So now imagine you rent an apartment builder provide you what? Building. What else? Electricity, water. Maybe my writing is not good, so just forgive me for this. Security, if required in apartment, elevators, okay, and maintenance of those also. Maintenance means version upgrade, security patches, those things. And what you are going to, this is provided by the your builder, right? And this is you are going to manage. Now what you are going to manage the interior things like your furniture, TV, refrigerator, all the equipment, right? Personal items, anything. Fine. Much less work than the building a house, the previous case, right? So in PaaS, in the same way, what cloud provide, if you're going to use the PaaS, so cloud is going to provide you hardware, right? Networking equipment, whatever it is, and storage. What else? Operating system as well, and runtime environment. Okay, so these things now is a part of now cloud. So now what you are going to manage? You are going to manage your application code and what? Your business logic and your data, right? So now you are having less work, right? So if we're going to develop the same application that we are doing with that ERP system, so in that ERP system, you are not going to install Ubuntu, Java, Tomcat, nothing. Everything is provided by the builder now. You just have to take care of your code. Okay, platform is going to handle everything, right? For example, in this, you can you might have heard of Heroku. Okay, Microsoft App Service, Google App Engine. Okay, so Microsoft App Service, Google, I think App Engine, right? These are the platform as a service. Okay, so PaaS means bring your code, we handle the platform. Okay, bring your code, rest platform will handle. Fine. Now coming to very important one, SaaS. This is called software as a service. So now imagine checking into hotel. What happens? Everything is already ready, fresh, everything managed, everything at the proper place. Okay, so when we enter in hotel, what you get? You get room, furniture, TV, refrigerator, food service, housekeeping, everything get ready-made. You have to just utilize that. Okay, so this is provided by the hotel, and this is what you are going to do. You are just going to utilize that, nothing else. No maintenance, no setup, no installation. So in the same way, SaaS providers, what they do, when you are going to choose this model, you are going to get hardware, networking, same things that I have written above, operating system, DB, application, security patches, everything, updates. So you have to simply use the software. Software is ready-made, just have to use this. Like, for example, you might have seen Gmail, right? Slack, Zoom, all these are examples of those, right? Google Docs. You don't have to care about server, database, updates, nothing. You simply log in and use them, right? So SaaS means ready-made software delivered over the internet. Okay, so I'll summarize this, all these three types. So what you remember, infrastructure as a service is nothing but infrastructure is rented. Infrastructure is rented. Rest you have to manage. In case of PaaS, what happened? Platform is provided. Platform is provided. You have to bring code. I'm writing your code by you, right? Rented plus rest by you. Okay, and SaaS, software as a service, everything is managed by the provider. You just use the software. Use software. Plus nothing you have to manage. No worries. Okay. Okay, so the more you move from IaaS to SaaS, the less responsibility you have and easier it becomes to use the service. Okay, so this is all about this. I just want to take this I want to just create this video because this is a very common term now. Everything is going to they expect that you know this, so I just want to brush up those things. Hope this makes sense and you understood the concept behind this. Okay, so okay, let's enjoy, then let's see in the next videos.